To fully understand the Church of Acts, you have to understand that they did everything for people, not for themselves. It was all about reaching people. It was all about the lost being found and the found being built.
It's Tuesday night at the Family Community Church located on Piercy Road in South San Jose, and the 21-year-old young adult pastor, Chase Wiggins, is preaching the gospel of love and grace, not in a robe or collared shirt, but in skinny jeans, sneakers, and a muscle tank top. The church is 3 acres wide and holds thousands of church members. The young adult service is not held in a typical church setting decorated in colorful stained glass statues or pews, but in a small auditorium where chairs are pushed together in rows filled with the young faces eager to hear the sermon of the night. However, Pastor Wiggins always dreamt of becoming a successful football player, but this former San Jose State University running back decided not to pursue sports, but another calling.
I started playing football at 7 years old. That was my passion. My dream was to be a University of Southern California Trojan. My initial dream was that. Going into high school, I was pretty heavily recruited. But little did I know that God was setting me.
Pastor Wiggins was a football player at Eleanor Roosevelt High School in Corona, California, where various colleges wanted to recruit him. But between his sophomore and junior year, he tore his ACL on both knees, which changed his expectations and his dreams of becoming a Division I athlete. By graduation, there weren't any colleges that wanted to recruit him, yet during his freshman semester in 2011, Coach McIntyre at San Jose State University gave him a second chance.
I was all just really prepping to kind of go back to football, going into that following semester, into my second year. And I ended up finding this place, Family Community Church. I ended up coming here and getting very, very involved throughout the semester. I think I brought like 23 people to Easter Sunday, from San Jose State. I was really big on professing my faith in Jesus Christ. One night at 3 a.m. in the morning watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I went to the foot of my bed and I got on my knees and I said, God, I don't really know if you're up there, but if you are, I'm going to find you. And I said this quote, I said, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. Whatever you want me to say, I'll say. And wherever you want me to go, I'll go.
In September 2012, the church offered Chase Wiggins an internship. He eventually became a staff member, then a pastor.
I had my parents calling me, telling me, no, Chase, this isn't the right decision. I had my grandfather calling me saying, your Mima who passed away would have loved to see you play football. I just had all these people who were contacting me saying that they felt, people who were close to me and I really loved that this was the wrong decision, me leaving San Jose State. But just somewhere deep in my core, I just knew it was God. I went to my coach, Coach McIntyre, and I sat him down. I said, Coach McIntyre, I won't be coming back next semester. I'm going into the ministry.
On March 27, 2013, Chase Wiggins became the young adults pastor at Family Community Church. In order to stay close to his athletic passion, each week he has Bible study with San Jose State University basketball and football players.
When I first had the young adults group handed to me, being the young adults pastor was very humbling because the ages are from 18 to 37, and I'm a 21-year-old, a young black hotshot just stepping in and getting ready to lead all these people.
A lot of fingers are being pointed towards the youth of this generation when the community takes a step back and looks at the current state of urban America, where the youth today are violent towards each other. August 28, 2013 will mark the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington, where Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his I Have a Dream speech. What can the African American community say that the United States has accomplished since the civil rights movements? Who do we blame for the violence taking place today? Has Dr. King's dream become a nightmare? Could the youth preaching to the youth serve as a solution?
The violence today, you could go on World Star Hip Hop and you could see a new fight every 20 minutes, of people who are streaming just this violent society. And that's why murder rates are up and people are getting blasted because it's not a loving society. And again, it may sound real cynical and it may sound very, very cliche, but at the same time, it's love that beats absolutely everything. And I think that's what made Dr. Martin Luther King such a phenomenal man, is he repped that and he taught that and he bled that. I was reading an article the other day, and I think like 60-some% of the jail population is African Americans, and that's just really not a good look. Coming from a man who preached anti-violence, obviously he'd be frustrated, and he'd probably be upset, and he'd probably hop up and give a long, long speech from a podium, in my opinion. And the main reason he preached that is because of Jesus Christ, He was definitely a born-again Christian, and he felt the solution to beating such a hatred and such a violence was love. And so that's how I went about it, They would even do marches, and they would just sit there silently, and they would get thrown in jail, and they want to hit people back. Whereas, you had the Black Panthers who was like, we're going to go violence on violence, and that didn't work out too well. Legacy that Dr. Martin Luther King left in the sense of love beats everything. And even in the Bible said it's the Lord's kindness that brings us to repentance. And, clearly it worked, and I think that's one of the reasons why he's one of the most inspirational, and he will be one of the most talked about people in our society until the end of time.
Today's parents, especially those in the African American community, have to deal with a different type of generation. Kids today are not only influenced by their friends, but by what they see on television, the internet, and the music they listen to. Angela Pompey, San Jose resident, single mother of 3, and member of the Mariantha Christian Center, gives her insight as a parent on the topic of raising kids in a positive environment and expresses how Dr. King would feel today about the state of urban America.
Our urban youth are committing violent crimes on each other, and so it's almost like his work is being reversed. And so I believe if he were alive today, he'd be concerned and saddened and disappointed. Set a solid foundation for them, impart strong beliefs, be proactive in their lives every day, talk to them, interact with them, find out what's going on in school and different things, and, just talk to your children, be involved, because all of that is going to be a product of how they turn out and how they will interact with society.
Pastor Wiggins agrees that the values should be handed down from generation to generation, and it is not completely the youth's fault.
We could get upset and we could say, oh, those bad youth, they're not good people. Or we could reach out and try to help them out, including myself. I mean, my father, who's my mentor, is a phenomenal man. And he's reached me where I was at. And it wasn't because he tried to be something that he was not. He was extremely authentic in the way that he did it. And I think authenticity is the key to life. You can't be something that you're not. I was going through the book of Joshua the other day. And Joshua, who was just a phenomenal leader in the Bible, he came right after Moses, and he was being raised up to be the next leader for Israel. And he did phenomenal things. He took land and took territory for the Lord's glory, and it was great. But there was a point in the book of Judges where his reign was done, and it said that the next generation didn't know God, and they were far from God. And so in all honesty, to the older generation and to the elders, you should slightly blame yourselves. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but there is this sense of you need to pass the baton to the next generation of leaders, and you need to pass the baton to the next generation of people that are coming up.
In order to prove that there is hope for this generation, 21-year-old Pastor Wiggins reaches out to the youth and does his part in order to keep Dr. King's dream alive.
Christianity, and more so Martin Luther King, his theology and his doctrine was, it's not about you, it's about people. Pray for those that hurt you. Love those that hurt you. Respond out of love, and that's what's changed the world today is that kind of love. And that's the only thing that's going to change the world, because you don't know what to do with that kind of love. All you can do is free to receive it.
This piece has been presented by Destiny Palacios and Jerica Lohman in affiliation with the School of Journalism and Mass Communication